greatness in a sea of
Live from Peacock Hall on the campus of Appalachian State University on App TV. This is the A-Game Live. I'm Noah Cornelius, joined by two of my good friends, Hunter Boston and Cody Bear, and this amazing tailgate going on behind me. Guys, can you believe we're finally here? We're doing this. Let's go.
Can't believe it. Noah, Cody, I'm so happy to be on this desk with you two right now on the bricks of Peacock Hall. Behind me, Peacock lot, slam full of App State fans getting ready for this App State Georgia Southern game today. We should have a good one on our hands.
This is going to be fantastic. Black Saturday, as you guys mentioned, fantastic tailgate. Luke Holmes, I've been hearing in the background. This is an App State tailgate if I've ever seen one. Coming ready to go. Arch rival today. A lot of potential things happening with the win. And, of course, Armani Edwards, App State legend, in the building.
Oh, we have to talk about Armani Edwards first and foremost. Legend when it comes to App State football and NCAA football. Let's go over the stats. 10,000 passing yards, 74 passing touchdowns, 4,361 rushing yards, and 65 rushing touchdowns. This man was a legend, absolute legend. And there have been so many incredible moments throughout his career that we just have to talk about.
That's exactly right. And you can't talk about Armani Edwards without talking about what might be the biggest game in App State football history. That's the 2007 Michigan game.
But before we get into that, let's actually hear some words from Armani Edwards and Jerry Moore as well.
And App is everything. This is a home away from home, and not even just the players and coaches, but the fans. Everybody was just so supportive, show love. You know, it's definitely a second home here.
All in his whole career, he's never selfish, never selfish. And players had great respect for him. And it wasn't an overkill. It was just, it's about business, kind of. And
it's a lot. Can't put it into words. You know, just to continue to see the support that's still here, even over a decade later. So it just means a lot.
Armani Edwards is just as good a husband and father as he is a football player, maybe better.
You guys mean more than what you imagine, and thank you.
In front of a live crowd here. Check out all of these amazing tailgates. I know they have the A-hole tailgate right there. We got a guy. Yeah, that's right. The A-hole tailgate said hello to us before we got on the air. But now, let's talk about Armani Edwards' greatest moments. Hunter, I cut you off before we got a little too excited.
I got so excited talking about Armani Edwards that I forgot what we were doing. I wanted to talk about this Michigan game so much because that made App State football what it is today, in my opinion. You look at the game itself. App State coming in back-to-back FCS championships. They have this new guy named Armani Edwards, a sophomore, just broke out in the season before. Then you have the number 5 ranked Michigan Wolverines. Everyone thought that Michigan was going to boat race the Mountaineers. Vegas didn't even have a line out for the game. That's how lopsided they thought it was going to be. But what happened next would shock the entire nation. Armani Edwards and App State would come out and score 4 touchdowns in the first half. Edwards accounted for all 4 of them, 3 in the air, 1 on the ground. The Mountaineers would take a 28-17 lead into the half. But Michigan wasn't going to go away easy. They roared back in that second half. They scored a field goal and a pair of touchdowns to take the lead with 1 minute and 37 seconds left to go in the game. But here came Armani Edwards, a 7-play, 69-yard drive that went all the way down the field and got a field goal to take the lead with 37 seconds to go. But Michigan, they came back, drove down to the App State Mountaineer 20-yard line. But guess what? App State would block that game-winning field goal. And, guys, the rest is history. Am I right?
Absolutely. And speaking of history, Armani Edwards just made more and more in that season as well. You have App State in 2007 versus Richmond. It's the FCS semifinals, and App State's putting their season on the shoulders of Armani Edwards. Nobody else's shoulders you'd rather put him on in this situation. Armani Edwards had 313 rushing yards in that game. One man, 313 rushing yards by a quarterback. The only App State player in history to have more in a game was Cameron Peoples in the Myrtle Beach Bowl in 2020. And it wasn't only on the ground that he was dominating. Armani Edwards had 7 total touchdowns. 7. in the game. An absolutely fantastic performance. The only mistake that Armani Edwards made in that game was somersaulting into the end zone, got hit with a 15-yard penalty. But in hindsight, that 15-yard penalty, to the legend that he's become today and the legendary moments he's had, including that one, it's nothing. And Armani Edwards has had plenty of legendary moments at App State.
I could not have said that better any better myself, Cody. And honestly, the referee probably should have just let that 15-yarder go. I mean, come on now. It was a somersault. But you guys are talking on the big games. I'm talking about the big moments. Now, against UMass, Armani Edwards led the Mountaineers to the FCS, formerly Division I AA National Championship in 2006 as a true freshman, beating the Minutemen of UMass 28-17. He finished the 2006 season with 2,251 yards and 15 touchdowns passing and 1,153 yards and 15 touchdowns rushing. And Edwards joined the select list as only the 5th D1 player at the time and second freshman to accomplish the feat of 2,000 passing yards and 1,000 rushing yards in one season. He's on a list with names like Brad Smith and Vince Young. I know those are some popular names. And in that game against UMass, the Edwards to Richardson connection was crazy. That Kevin Richardson had a 47-yard touchdown. And Armani Edwards, in that game and in all of these games, he was the prototypical Denard Robinson, the prototypical Michigan QB, you know, the one he didn't tie his shoes and he just ran all over the place. And he was also shades of 2000's Michael Vick, right in the high country. Guys, Armani Edwards, just legendary.
You honestly can't sit here and say enough about the guy. He is Mr. App State football. He quite literally built this program on his back. He came in and immediately was great. I just don't think you can write the story about App State football without having Armani Edwards as a main character.
Hunter, I truly, again, guys, so many things we could talk about Armani Edwards when it comes to Armani Edwards. Now, it's not a live game day-esque show without a special guest, and what better special guest to get on the show than the director of App State Athletics, Doug Gillen. Doug, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This is awesome. You guys are doing a great job here. Cameras, rocking and rolling, great view. It's like game day.
Absolutely. I mean, we got to start it off. Look, it's a little bit of a chilly day, but it's the last game of the season for App State football. They're playing Georgia Southern. It's senior day. Just talk to us about your emotions going into this game. You know, crazy season it's been.
Well, I think, this is a culmination of a really interesting season. A lot of highs, a lot of, mediocres, but really this day, because you got Armani, honoring Armani Edwards, one of the best to ever play here, if not the best to ever play at Appalachian. Had an event for him last night. Looking forward to honoring him, throughout the game, but particularly at halftime. That's really special. Certainly everything that this game means today. You win in a coastal loss, and then you're going to the championship after everything we've talked about this season, winning 4, hopefully 5 straight, and then it's Georgia Southern, our biggest rival. So when you put those three things together, there's a lot of emotions going on here at the Rock today, and certainly in Boone.
Doug, you mentioned the mediocre start, and even with that, started 3-4, and now won 4 in a row, including the James Madison game last week. A lot of resilience there. How does that reflect on the football program here at App?
Well, I think it's just a testament to what Appalachian football is all about. It's gritty, hard work. It's never giving up. It's always having a chip on our shoulder to represent the university the right way. And we knew in a couple of those games, you really could not make it up in terms of, a block kick against Wyoming. You have, we're heading for a score against the Coastal, and then they turn around and go down, kick field goal at the end. And then certainly, ODU, you kind of go back and forth. You're throwing it twice in the end zone. You get a targeting call called back. You get a running into the kicker called back. So you had some breaks down there at the end of that Old Dominion game that were a little bit unfortunate. But the thing I loved about Sean Clark and all of our coaches and our student athletes, they never gave up. In every game, it was never a question of heart. It was a question of a break here and there. And then you saw what we've done these last 4 games. We really played Mountaineer football.
Love it, Doug. Let's look at this game today. How important do you think it is to have a rivalry that's so enshrined in historic, like the one with App State and Georgia Southern?
Well, I mean, I think, I think it's really, really important. I think it's good for fans. It's the history and tradition of the rivalry is a big, and college football needs that. And if you start looking at, not to get too much into realignment of college football, but it's going away from rivalries, which is what I don't agree with. I think you want to have regional rivalries. What I love about the Sun Belt, not just Georgia Southern, but you look at what's happened with Coastal, you look at what is happening with James Madison. It's been going on with Marshall for years, and now you got Old Dominion. So every week, it's funny. A quick story. I'm talking to Sean Clark on the sidelines of practice the other day. I said, "This is a big one." He's like, "Yeah, they're all big." and it is. It's true. So not just because it's a big rivalry, but the Sun Belt and the conference is just so tough. But this is important, obviously, and now there's so much more to it, what this game means.
Doug, I'm going to kind of inject myself into this a little bit because I have experience with this. I'm a transfer student. I woke up one day, I was like, I've heard a lot about App State and the culture that it brings. I'm not an athlete, but I still like App State as a culture. But when you're dealing with all these transfer athletes, how do you get them to come here? How do you say, hey, look, we know you're in the portal. Come give App State a try. Come up to the high country and come be a Mountaineer.
Well, that's a great question. I think there's two things we tell them. Come play for championships, get a world-class education. And then you want to play in a venue like this. It's going to be packed 6 times a year. We're going to announce for the 3rd year in a row an all-time Sun Belt. We broke the all-time Sun Belt record for the 3rd year in a row at Appalachian. We're going to announce that we've broken the Appalachian record for a 3rd year in a row in terms of total attendance. So if you want to play in front of a full crowd that's passionate about the sport of football, that loves their university, you're going to get a great education. You're going to play for championships. That's the sell. And then you can see the history that we've had here over the years.
Yeah, Doug, we got time for a couple more questions. So how about we make it a little bit fun? What's your favorite tailgate food? We have all these amazing people behind us here. We got some fans waving on the podcast.
We got some of the best right here. So these guys used to be in Duncan, and I would go there this is my 9th football season. So every game for 9 years, I would go down through Duncan. I just walk the lots, right? Just say hello to the folks and try to just, see what they're thinking and how they're feeling and are they having fun. So anyways, these guys have now moved over here. Super proud. They're awesome, right? But that's like all App fans, right? I mean, it's the passion and pageantry, and I just like to walk around pregame and have fun with folks. But I don't eat the food. I don't drink the drink. I don't do any of that.
How about that?
That's just my deal. I just go say hi, shake hands, and just say thank you for folks that come out and support our student athletes.
Hunter, Cody, we got time for one more question with the amazing Doug Gillen here.
Yeah, one more big question for you. And you mentioned earlier that this game quickly began to mean more and more. And a potential spot still open in the Sun Belt Conference Championship. Don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. We need a win, and we need a little bit of help from James Madison. But what would it mean to the program getting back into that Sun Belt Conference Championship game?
Well, that's what we're here for. I mean, so we're here to play for championships and in bowl games and graduate our student athletes. So to achieve that would be huge. Going down to play Troy, that's a game that we feel like we can compete against Troy in that game. But again, to your point, we got to take care of business first. This is super important. They're on scholarship on the other side today too. They got coaches that are really, really good. So it's going to be a tough fought game. But now the sun's popping out. It's going to feel electric. And Kid Brewer and Honor and Armani makes for a great day.
Doug Gillen, it has been fantastic having you on the show with us. I'm sure these amazing App State fans agree, but you know what? Let's get our minds ready for game day. App State, Georgia Southern coming up next year, and Doug, we thank you for your time. Speaking of which, after the break, we've got a special guest star from the men's basketball team, the one and only Donovan Gregory.
To a place where you can grow.
A place to be heard.
And take a closer look.
A place where you can crush it.
And push yourself.
A place to find your voice.
This place rocks. And rolls.
A place where you can get out.
A place you'll never forget.
So where is this place? Let me show you.
Welcome back to the A Game Live on App TV. We've got a great crowd behind us, but now we have an awesome basketball player with us here today. He's a legend, a scoring machine, and everyone around here knows his name. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in joining to the table, Donovan Gregory. Donovan, how you feeling today, buddy?
Feeling good. Beat Southern today, so got to make it happen.
Now, obviously, you're a basketball player, but it's the end of the regular season of football. So, are you a football fan? What do you expect from this App State versus Georgia Southern matchup today?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big football fan, especially being here for so long, just being able to enjoy the college town, go to the games with my friends, and then just some of the relationships I developed with the football players myself. So it makes it even more fun for me to watch them go out there and play.
That's right. Well, shifting gears to the basketball season, we can't talk about it with just without talking about the amount of hype that surrounded just not you and the whole team itself. Picked second in the Sun Belt preseason coaches poll, 159 votes, only 17 behind of JMU. Just with all the hype surrounding the team, what do you think about it personally, and then how do you stay grounded?
I mean, for me personally, I think it's good to have recognition and be recognized for all the hard work you put in, but at the same time, we haven't really done anything. This year is a new year, and we still have to live up to those expectations and go out there, compete, work hard, and, play to those expectations every day.
Like you said, App is playing to live up to that hype. You're not just coasting to Sun Belt play with that preseason ranking. The Mountaineers, you're playing a very tough non-conference schedule, playing Power 5 teams like Oregon State, and then another game that we're going to be talking about a little bit later in the show. That's a huge one. The team also went to Fort Myers and got big wins against high-quality teams, UNCW and Murray State. How does this tough non-conference schedule help prepare the team for a very tough Sun Belt schedule in conference play?
Yeah, I mean, just playing a tough non-conference, it'll just help us out in the long run, or, just being able to play with each other and, find that chemistry, that'll help us out in the Sun Belt, but just taking it one game at a time.
Donovan, you've played for this program for a long time, and you keep on getting better each season. But all good things must come to an end, right? But what do you want your legacy to be with this program? What do you want people to say about you whenever somebody says Donovan Gregory?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I just want people to say that I gave it everything I could for the 5 years I was here. The accolades and all that stuff is nice, but I just go out there and compete, and I want to be remembered for that more than anything.
Donovan Gregory, a name that will absolutely be echoed throughout App State lore, the high country, and maybe even beyond. They have a big game coming up versus Auburn on December 3rd at 1 p.m. on ESPN2. Tickets for that are sold out, but there is a game going on tomorrow versus Austin P, and tickets are still available for that. Just go on App State Sports and look that up online. Donovan, thank you for your time.
Sure.
And coming up next, we'll keep it going with some more basketball action. We'll talk to a transfer to the women's basketball program, a very special player coming right up.
My name is Rylan Moffitt. I'm from Central Florida, and I'm a sophomore here at App.
So, what has been your experience at App State so far?
I've really enjoyed it. So I'm from Central Florida, like I mentioned, and the change of scenery is definitely new. This summer I got to get out and get into some waterfalls and do some stuff like that. But I've really enjoyed becoming a part of this team and getting to know Boone.
What drew you to the area at first glance?
So Boone was not new to me. My brother is on the football team here. That's not the only reason that I'm here though. I got to come up here and really fall in love with the coaching staff. Felt like I can make an impact here, so that's why I chose App State.
So already going into the program and all that stuff, what was your impression of it before you came here?
Before I came here, I knew there was a need, so I knew I could fill that need, so I was excited about that. It was kind of an unknown. It was nerve-wracking, but I was ready to jump in and be a part of this team.
What has been your favorite thing about the team?
We have some jokesters. We have some comedians on this team, so I've really enjoyed just like being able to mess around with them and hang out a lot.
So your brother is on the football team. Yeah. What has it been like to go to his games that he's been playing in college while being a student?
Oh, it's awesome. So I was going to the games before, but actually being an App State student and getting to go to the games, I really I go crazy in the stands. I love App State football, so I'm happy to be there.
You went to the game at JMU this past weekend, correct?
Correct.
What was that like?
That was awesome. I I watched the whole entire stadium fall silent when we scored that touchdown, so it was pretty cool.
So the basketball team this year, what would you say sticks out in this program compared to your last program?
This program here, we have a lot of pace, so like we're doing everything faster than a lot of teams are doing it. It's hard to guard us. So when we're running at that pace, we're having fun, and we can compete at a different level doing that.
Getting ready for this season, what have you guys focused on, and what do you think are some of your strengths?
Pace and pressure, that's what we talked about. So when we're running with that pace, we're putting pressure on defense, and then our defensive side, that's where it starts. So we can be able to run and beat teams on the floor, but it starts on defense. So we've really focused on that. And then I just focus on, having the right reads, doing what my teammates need from me. I need to set good screens. I need to do things like that, and getting rebounds, getting my teammates second chance opportunities. So that's what I focus on.
What fuels your love for the game?
I say I get to do this. Like I really, I don't know. The moment that I don't feel like that, I want to be done. But I get to do this, and the opportunity is insane. So to come from where I'm come from a junior college, to be able to compete here, every day I walk in this arena and I'm like, I get to be here. It's awesome.
You guys are going to Puerto Rico. What is that going to be like, spending Thanksgiving down there with the team rather than here with your family?
Well, my mom's going to fly out to Puerto Rico, so I get to see her there. And then, it's like we're kind of skipping the holiday altogether. So we'll be in a tropical island, so that'll be pretty cool.
What are you looking forward to in terms of spending time with your teammates outside of just the Convocation Center?
Well, also we're going to Puerto Rico, and when we're going there, we're going to get to have some good dinners, hang out. So we'll get to go to the beach a little bit. So just hanging out with them, kicking back with them, kind of taking that mental break from basketball. But when it comes to the court, we'll be back.
Basketball is it's a big deal here at App. What would you say you're looking forward to this season?
So the past 2 home games that we had in the home center, there's been tons of fans all out here, and I keep telling them, come back. We need people at women's basketball games, and it makes a difference when the other team's shooting free throws and we have fans screaming and cheering and they're missing free throws. That makes an impact. So I would just say just the home games that we're gonna have the rest of the season.
And then I'll open it up to you. Is there anything else you want to say that you would want people to know about the program and basketball in general?
For sure, I would just say make it out to the game. You got to be here to see it. Our pace is something different. We work really hard. Our coaching staff works hard. So just having people in these stands is huge.
Gotta love Rylan. Gotta love Rylan Moffitt. Coming from the sunny beaches of Daytona, and when I think Daytona, I think the 500 little NASCAR reference. Coming from the sunny beaches of Daytona all the way to the mountains of Boone, I mean, she's already making her presence known, and the team plays so much better with her. She is a double monster. She had multiple 20-rebound games in when she played at Daytona State, and now she's here balling out for an App State women's basketball squad, and it's like she said, fulfill the need, and she's fulfilling that need pretty well, I gotta say. Now I want to talk about another transfer just because I met her at the end of the basketball game. It was App State versus Ohio, 23-point comeback for your Mountaineers. Samantha LaFawn actually transferred from Marshall, and I joked with her. I'm like, hey, so how much different is it playing for App State compared to Marshall? And she said, and I quote, so much better. No disrespect to Marshall, but I think App State has something, just have a charm to us. But man, oh man, this women's basketball program as a whole, guys, I mean, you talk about fourth quarter Fridays. Cody, I mean, this women's basketball program.
A lot of it comes from that culture, and a lot of that culture comes from the head coach. And Angel Elderkin, she's entering her 10th season as the App State women's basketball coach, and she's had a lot of success. She's been rewarded with that success with a new extension that goes through 2027. She has 6 Sun Belt tournament wins, 2 semifinal appearances. She's done a very, very good job with this program in the years that she's been here. And of course, she was rewarded with that extension as she should be. She's going to have a great future here, continuing to help this App State women's basketball culture.
Hey, Cody, and before I let you speak on it, I want to say Angel Elderkin, she came up with the quote of embrace the grind. You see it on all the social media, hashtag embrace the grind. She actually fought and beat cancer during the 2016-2017 season, and she was still showing up every day, head coaching this team. So shout out Angel Elderkin and hashtag embrace the grind.
That's exactly right. And when I think about this App State women's basketball team, I think about that grind. I also think about them improving year after year under Coach Elderkin. And one of the things that they focused on mainly this offseason was something called fourth quarter Fridays. You look last year, they went 11-20, 6-12 in the Sun Belt. But They got outscored in the fourth quarter 17 times in the 2022-2023 season, and that was a big reason as to why they lost some of those games. So this offseason, Coach Elderkin told us, she said, we went in and established fourth quarter Fridays. Every Friday we would focus specifically on the fourth quarter of ball games, closing them out, outscoring opponents, and just closing them out right and getting those wins that they didn't get the season before. And we're already seeing it paying off this year. They've outscored opponents 98-70 in the fourth quarter, and you said it earlier, you were there. They outscored Ohio 31 points to 7 in that fourth quarter of that game. Came back 20 points and won. So it's already paying off dividends. And that's exactly what this App State team is. They build year after year after year. They got the transfers in. They got the players that have been with the program. And it's paying off dividends. So we'll see how it goes for the rest of this season.
I mean, we just had Doug Gillen on earlier in the show talking about the culture that App State athletics brings to all of their sports. And speaking of all of their sports, it's now time to get into some football after the break, because when we come back, we'll be going over our players to watch, our X Factors, I guess you could say. So stick with us on the A Game.
Hi, my name is Melissa Weddle, and I'm Department Chair of Recreation Management and Physical Education at Appalachian State University. We offer 2 degree-granting programs, one in recreation management with a focus in outdoor experiential education, recreation and park management, and commercial recreation and tourism. Our second degree-granting program in health, physical education, and coaching offers teacher certification for public schools in health and physical education. You can get a minor or certificate in coaching. We are the front porch to the Beaver College of Health Science, where our focus is on quality of life, wellness, and physical activity. We're located in the beautiful mountains of Boone, North Carolina. So come join us, check out our website, or take a class.
What brings us to mountains? Is it the possibilities that await us at the top? Are we looking forward to how the challenge will mold us, transform us? Maybe the mountain is inside all of us. After all, we are mountaineers. Appalachian State University.
Welcome back to the A Game Live. We got the wind blowing. We got this amazing crowd of tailgaters behind us. How are we feeling today? You know, all of these tailgaters are more than welcome to come up here, hoot and holler, bring out posters, and be a part of the A Game Live fun, live on Skybest, Spectrum, and on YouTube. Yes, this is television, ladies and gentlemen. But now it's time to get into a more exciting block, I gotta say, one of my personal favorites, players to watch. And the first player we are going to be watching is brought to us by Cody Bear. Cody.
Yeah, Noah, I'm talking about a guy that these fans back here hear all the time. If you're watching games, you hear him all the time when App State's on defense, and that is Andrew Parker. He has 98 total tackles. It leads the team. 48 of those tackles are solo. He's everywhere on the field. He's gotten in there for sacks. He's got 6 tackles for loss on the season already. He's done a very, very good job throughout the season. He's the Mike linebacker, and the Mike linebacker in this defense is like the quarterback of the defense. It's his responsibility to make sure everyone's ready with the play. If you see a defensive audible, a lot of that is coming from him. He's stout. He's everywhere. And Hunter, Andrew Parker, he is a great quarterback for this defense.
That's exactly right. And he's a great quarterback for my player to watch in this game. That is Michael Fletcher, number 5 defensive lineman for App State. This guy, He is a dog, 6'6", 275 pounds, and he's getting hot at exactly the right time. In the last 2 games, he's gotten 3 sacks. He got 2 last week against JMU. He's been a big reason as to why they have really been disrupting these passing teams these last couple of weeks. I talked to him yesterday. I saw him. I said, man, what are you thinking about this Georgia Southern game? Are you ready? He said, oh, yeah. I'm ready. I was like, I'm not messing with that guy today. I think he's going to be a big part of this defense today on that line, disrupting this Georgia Southern passing offense. We're going to need him. That's true. Him and the rest of the defensive line. But he's played some outside. He's played some inside. But Noah, I think he is going to be a huge part as to why we are going to win this game today.
I mean, you talk about huge parts. Come on, guys. How have we not talked about Joey Aguilar yet? Come on now, QB1 for our amazing Mountaineer team. I mean, he stepped into a role after an unfortunate injury to Ryan Berger. And this man has been slinging the rock. I think that's a basketball term, but honestly, we're going to use it in football because Joey Aguilar has got all of these App State tailgaters excited. And speaking of Joey Aguilar, I had the opportunity to speak with him earlier this week. When you play for a team like this, in a stadium like this, in front of fans like these, you might get lost in the limelight, but not JUCO transfer quarterback Joey Aguilar. Aguilar didn't start the season as the Mountaineers starting QB, but this weekend, after a dream season, he'll end as it, and he's ready.
I feel good. Obviously, everybody's a little banged up, but we just got to hit the training room, get right, but just trying to finish out the season with a dub. So.
He also started off the season with the W. In fact, his first pass for App State resulted in a touchdown versus Gardner-Webb. He followed up this performance with a valiant one versus UNC Chapel Hill on the road. ECU at home in a blowout.
Gonna fire a deep ball, looking for Robinson. Got it in the end zone.
And versus Marshall in the Old Mountain Feud, among others. But where does this dog mentality come from?
I mean, I guess if it's in you, it's in you. If it's not, it's not. So I guess I've been the underdog my whole life, so just coming in situations like that was nothing new to me, so I just took the best out of my opportunity.
The season hasn't been perfect for the California kid because there have been some mistakes, including this one versus Wyoming.
On getting in the end zone and walking out of Laramie with a 4th quarter win. Aguilar has to heave it. It's picked off, and the Cowboys will.
But the triumphs have been triumphant.
Takes the snap. Here comes the rush. Joey throws underneath, caught by Robinson at the 5. Stiff arms at the 2.
Yes, sir!
Yes, sir!
Now, the underdog with the dog mentality has the chance to immortalize himself in App State lore forever.
Coming out of JUCO and then playing for a conference championship my first year at this level would be amazing. So just trying to finish the story and make history for the program.
And he'll be one step closer to immortality with the win versus Georgia Southern this weekend. Guys, we have to talk about Georgia Southern as a team. You know, we've gotten kind of distracted in all the hubbub here, with all the fans behind us and App State playing, but we got to talk about Georgia Southern as a team. So I'm going to toss it over to our very own, Cody Bear, responsible for Bear Down Bets. He knows ball. Cody, what do we need to know about this Georgia Southern team?
Yeah, Noah, we got to talk about Georgia Southern. First of all, seeing this tailgate and this crowd behind us, I wouldn't want to be Georgia Southern. You're coming into a really, really tough environment, and we're going to see a lot of it's going to be in the passing game behind Davis Brin, Georgia Southern's starting quarterback. And that's because this game is a lot like James Madison, where you have Georgia Southern, a team that doesn't really like to rush the ball. They're not one of the better running teams in the Sun Belt. They actually rank 13th in the Sun Belt in rushing yards per game. But Georgia Southern's going to air it out. They rank number 1 in the Sun Belt in passing yards per game, over 300 passing yards per contest. That's something to look at. It's a lot like we saw from James Madison, and I think it plays into App State's hands a little bit. App State, they struggle kind of stopping the run, but they're a lot better stopping the pass. That's what we saw against James Madison, and what I expect today is If App State's able to cause some pressure in the pocket with only 3 or 4 guys, you can put a man back in coverage. That's what we've seen a lot from this App State team the last couple weeks. It has success. If they can keep causing trouble for Bryn in the pocket with 3 or 4 guys and you can put a man back in coverage, that's going to make it a lot tougher for them to pass the ball. So, Hunter, I think it plays into their hands, but we've got to watch the air attack.
That's exactly right, Cody. And I wanted to switch gears a little bit and look at this Georgia Southern rushing defense because App State we're built on the run game. I know Joey Aguilar's had an amazing year throwing the ball, but we are a running team. We have Nate Noel. He was at the top part of the entire country in rushing in a couple of stats early on this year. But you look at this Georgia Southern rushing defense, 4th in the Sun Belt in total rushing defense, 140 yards allowed per game. As I said, App State is built off of the run. They're going to have to work on that. I think it starts with the interior of that App State offensive line. You got to look at a guy like Isaiah Helms. He anchors that squad. Bucky Williams to his side, and that's what it's going to take to get these guys running. I think once we open up the run game, that opens up the pass, and that opens up a whole lot for this App State team.
Hunter, I like that you talk about the defense because I'm going to keep it on that subject as well. The linebackers for this Georgia Southern defense are dogs. And I know they're Eagles, but in this case, they're dogs. Ironic because Georgia... Okay, enough of that. But in all seriousness, these linebackers, you got to watch out for them. Marcus Watson-Trent leads the team in solo tackles. He has 53, and he's 21 ahead of the next guy. And then you also got to worry about one of their D linemen, Isaac Walker, who has 6 sacks on the year. This linebacker core, it will hit you hard. So this App State O-line, this App State protection has to make sure that this Georgia Southern, these linebackers, this defense does not get into the pocket to disrupt Joey Aguilar. And look, I love Joey Aguilar. He runs on his legs. He's mobile. He knows how to get out of a bind quickly. But when he gets pressured, he tends to, make those errant throws. You know what I mean, right? Where you get pressured. You have to make sure that you can protect Joey because those linebackers, hey, they'll get you. But coming up next, after commercial, we'll get to our favorite part. And I know these fans out here are excited for. We're going to start picking our choices for who's going to win. I know there's a lot of people out there who already have App State circled, but do we? Find out and see. Up next on the A Game Live. Welcome back to the A-Game Live. We're here at Peacock Hall. We've had these amazing tailgaters behind us this entire time. I see some waves. Shout out to the guy in the blue jacket back there. I see a lot of flags. I smell some hot dogs, some burgers going. Got me hungry. And speaking of hungry, guys, we're hungry to tell our picks for some of the most popular college football games going on today. So let's get it started off with Ohio State versus Michigan in the Big House. Cody Bear, who do you have?
That game's in the Big House.
That's right.
Michigan right now did a quick score check. It's 7-0.
Who's leading?
Michigan's leading.
Good. That's what I thought.
I don't care. Ohio State is still going to come back and win this game. And I'll tell you what. Listen, Michigan, they run the ball very, very well. They've done it. It's been a big part of their team, their game this season, seasons before. But I don't know if I trust J.J. McCarthy throughout this entire game. Without Harbaugh on the sideline, he has not been playing great. The last couple of weeks, he's been really bad this month. He started the season fantastic, has struggled more this month. I think Kyle McCord, I know he hasn't been phenomenal, but I'm going to trust him and Ryan Day actually being on the sideline for this one. I know Michigan wants to make a point, but I think they're going to struggle. I think Ohio State still comes away with the win.
Who cares? Give me Michigan. There's one thing that I like more than anything in sports, and that is bulletin board material. Michigan has plenty of it. I don't care what you say about the Michigan scandal about Jim Harbaugh. Thing is, he's not on the sidelines, and they're using that as motivation. I think they're going to use that all the way to a win in this game today.
Give me Michigan. Give me the boys in blue. Look, I know we defeated them back in 2007. I know we don't really have a rivalry with them, so I don't even know why I'm bringing this up. But give me Michigan. Look, this Wolverines team has been slaughtered in the media. Look, John Harbaugh has been slaughtered in the media. I think this Michigan team is playing because they feel like they're in the right. They feel like they've been disrespected. They feel like they got something to prove. I don't like J.J. McCarthy necessarily as a quarterback, but I think this Michigan team as a whole, how many times do I have to say it? They're dogs. I mean, their interim head coach who was on the sidelines was crying after his first win. This is a team that feels like they're playing for something more than just wins this year. And Cody, what did you say score was? What did you say?
7-0.
That's right. That is right. That's right.
We got three quarters.
Hey, that's right. It's 7-0 right now. So hey, Michigan turned it into 14-0, maybe 14-7, 21-7. All I'm saying is Michigan is gonna run away with it. It's going to run away with it. So give me the Michigan Wolverines at home in the Big House versus Ohio State. Now, next game up, the Iron Bowl. It's famous. It's magical. So many moments. Hunter, buddy, I was actually supposed to give it to you first because, my man, I was supposed to give it to you. So now I'm going to give it to you. This time I'm going to give you your fair share. Hunter, Alabama, Auburn. Who's going to win?
This is an easy pick. I'm surprised it's even on here. It's Alabama. What? Alabama. Come on now. I'm not going to lie. I have been critical of Jalen Milroe and this team for a long time, but the thing is, he's hit his stride in this back half of the season. And you look at Auburn, they just lost to New Mexico State. 31-10? What? They're falling apart. They're falling apart. Give me Alabama to roll past Auburn.
But I need you to pump the brakes on that real quick. I need you to pump the brakes. Here's why. Give me Auburn because it's the Iron Bowl. And I know the fans right there are excited. Look, the Iron Bowl is the chance where Auburn gets to show off their skills toe-to-toe against Alabama. I don't like them elephants. I don't like the Crimson Tide. That's all I'm going to say. I hear someone booing. You're booing because you know I'm right. Look, Auburn has a chance to rebound after an embarrassing loss against New Mexico. Like you said, it was embarrassing. But what better way to recover from embarrassment than a winning in the Iron Bowl? And this is a life lesson. There's only one way to recover from embarrassment, and that's going out and doing even better the next game. Give me Auburn, baby.
I don't know about it. What's the Eagle? I mean, come on.
Noah, I really appreciate your ambitious picks here.
Thank you.
It takes a lot.
Oh, man.
But you're wrong.
Okay,
Alabama
can I leave?
Winning this game.
Can I leave?
Alabama the last couple weeks have been winning. They have been covering. They've been playing fantastic. This is one of the best Alabama defenses that we've ever seen.
I'm sure.
This might be the best defense in the country standing right now. And then Jalen Milroe's been playing a lot better. He hasn't been turning over the ball as much. At the beginning of the season, there was an issue with him turning it over. He's kind of fixed that. He seems to have his confidence back. I don't see how Auburn stands a chance. Alabama's going to win. They're going to cover. Today, it's Roll Tide.
It's the right pick. It's the right pick.
Well, no. Wrong, and here's why. You guys are going off the paper stats. I'm going off of the storylines, my gut, just the history of the Iron Bowl. I mean, I respect you, radio guys. For anybody who doesn't know, WASU, App TV, we're superior. Look, I respect you, radio guys, because you guys know the stats and statistics. But when it comes to TV people, we go with our gut and what we see. And you know what I see, and you know what I've seen over these past few years? I've seen Auburn shot in these Iron Bowls. So I don't care about no Jalen Milroe. I don't care about no Auburn defense. Give me Alabama defense. I care about the Auburn defense. Give me Auburn in the Iron Bowl.
Okay. I would say you should care about the Auburn defense.
That's right.
You
Just
should
say
be
that.
worried.
Okay. All right. Look, up next, we're taking it back to the Old North State. UNC versus NC State. Hunter.
You know who he likes.
We know who he likes.
Honestly, it kind of pains me to make this pick because of my fandom that I have in my heart, but it's NC State today against UNC, and I'm taking NC State. He's look at this team, and they've sneakily got to 8 wins. Dave Dorian and this entire team, they've been through it all this season, but at the end of the day, 8 wins. I looked at it, I was like, I didn't know NC State was that good. But then you look at UNC, I just don't trust this UNC team sometimes. I really don't. I mean, they show up in some big games and they don't show up in some others. So I don't think they're going to show up in this one. Give me NC State.
That's right. Oh, you know what? It's me. NC State. Here's why. First of all, that guy right there. Second of all, because I believe in the Wolfpack. Have I been saying it this entire time? I believe in the dogs. I believe in the dogs to take down them Rams. And look, Drake May kind of overrated. Coming into the season, that's right. Drake May was overrated because coming into the season, yes, I got the hype. Wow, he blew out App State last year against Chase Bryce or whatever, and then this year he beat us again. Wow, okay, so where has he been? Where is he at? I don't see him as this. Where's Walter? Where is he at? Hunter, he gets it. Where's he been? I don't see him in the Heisman race. I don't see this USC off. Didn't they lose to Georgia Tech? And was it Virginia? Georgia Tech and Virginia. That doesn't sound like a very competitive team to me overall. I'm just saying, how are you going to lose to those subpar ACC teams? So, you know what? Give me NC State because I want to see some Tar Heel fans cry tonight.
You right about that?
UNC has had some tough losses over the last few weeks, but this is rivalry week. You throw that out the window. I'm looking at these two teams, and here's my worry with the Wolfpack. If Brendan Armstrong started the season, they then bench him for MJ Morris. We start the quarterback carousel. And after that, MJ Morris says, oh, never mind, I'm going to redshirt. Good luck this season. Put back Brendan Armstrong, who you benched earlier, hurt his confidence. He's been playing well. And this UNC defense isn't stellar. But when I'm looking at the other side, Noah, today Drake May is going to make you eat your words. Wrong. Drake May is the better quarterback. Nope. Mac Brown's the better coach. It's coming down to rivalry week. Throw everything else out the window. NC State's new ranking, throw them out. UNC coming out of the rankings, throw that out the window. I'm looking at the quarterback, the team, the coach. UNC superior, all of those ends. North Carolina's getting the win today.
Cody, wait, answer me this, though, because my boy Hunter just said that they have 8 wins on the season, and the way you make it out to seem like it's a quarterback carousel, making this NC State team out to be like, what, the New York Jets? I mean, come on.
Listen, some of those wins are incredibly impressive. I won't.
Win is a win.
Win's a win.
They got to win against Marshall. I'm not as worried about those kind of teams. I don't know if I'm as impressed in those 8 wins. I think listen, you put in rivalry week, and I'm looking at 2 teams that are playing their hardest. They're coming out hot, and when they're hot, I'm going North Carolina.
Now, speaking of teams that have to win, and I'm sure all of these tailgaters out here love this one, James Madison versus Coastal. I think I know who we're all going to pick. But you got to tell us.
I'm going to look right into this camera right here, and I'm sending a message out to James Madison. Yes, I did root against you last week. Yes, I might have said some things I wasn't proud of about James Madison, but guess what? You're my best friend this week. I need you this week. I really do. I need you to take care of the Beach Chickens this week because we need you. If we win today and you win today, we have a chance to make the Sun Belt title. Just because you can't doesn't mean we can't. So please, pull this one out for me. Give me James Madison.
Coastal Carolina. Let me finish. Coastal Carolina is not a state. What is a Chanticleer? Conway is not at the beach, and Grayson McCall's not playing. Give me James Madison, and because there are friends this week. If James Madison wins and App State wins, we're in the Sun Belt Conference Championship. I feel bad for James Madison because, no matter what side you're on, I mean, we got affected by the same rule when we had 2 years we had to wait 2 years to go into the bowl. We got affected by the same rule, and it's bad. It sucks, plain and simple. But that opens up the door for us to make it to the Sun Belt Championship. But JMU has to, can, and will beat Coastal Carolina because what is a Chanticleer? What is that? A chicken, a beach chicken? We don't like Coastal. We know that they're not going to win. And JMU, y'all are our best friends. Talking about my best friend, you're the one. You're my best friend today. Win, and we're in, please. So give me JMU against those fraudulent Coastal chickens.
James Madison Dukes, I know we talked a lot of trash last week. I know we went after your program, you went after ours, but we didn't mean that. James Madison, we still love you. We still love that program. What you guys are doing it's fantastic. And you know what? It is a dang robbery that you can't be in the postseason. But how about you go and make a statement? How about you go into Conway? You tried to do it last week. It didn't really work. But how about you go into Conway, you make a statement win, close off the season strong, and help your Mountaineers out just a little bit. I got a James Madison win.
That's right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we've reached the final pick of the day. And I encourage every single one of these tailgaters to voice your support loud and proud for this pick because it's App State versus Georgia Southern. And who do we think is going to win? Who do we think is going to win today? Come on up here and let us know.
When I look at this game that's happening this afternoon, I think about this App State team and just the up and down season that has happened all year. We started low. We lost a couple of games that we probably shouldn't have. Then we've rattled off 4 straight wins. That roller coaster is all the way back up at the top.
That's the intimidator.
And part of me, I think it's going right back down. Give me Georgia Southern. I think it's going to be a hard race this afternoon for Georgia Southern. Their passing offense is too good. I just think we have a chance. It's going to be a boat race. Give me Georgia Southern.
Give you Georgia Southern? Wait, just pick Georgia Southern. What? Okay, explain yourself.
Let me explain myself. There is some other stuff going on right here. You see, we're a very superstitious bunch here on the student media organizations here at App State. And, one of the things that we started this year is we said App State was going to boat race a bunch of teams. We said App State was going to boat race ULM. We said App State was going to boat race ODU. Guess what happened? We had to have a walk-off field goal to beat ULM. We lost the ODU. We said, hold on, something's wrong here. Every time we say App State's going to boat race someone, it doesn't happen. We have power on our hands. Why don't we start using this power for good? So starting with Marshall, we said Marshall was going to boat race App State. Guess what happened? The exact opposite. We started with Georgia State next. We said Georgia State's going to boat race App State. Guess what? The exact opposite happened. We said JMU was going to run us off the field with a boat race. Guess what happened? It didn't. It was the exact opposite. We also found this penny right here. This, my friends, is the boat race penny. We have not lost since this boat race penny happened. So ever since the penny happened, ever since we said we were going to get boat raced, we've won. So let's see what happens today. So like I said, give me Georgia Southern with a boat race today.
Hunter, before I give my pick, I want to give a shout out to the guy with the a-hole tailgate sign who was right behind him, couldn't get to him. And I want to give a shout out to all of these amazing App State fans in attendance here at Peacock. They're out here voicing their support. I see hands in the air. I see flags flying. And I'm pretty sure we know who's going to win today. And so I'm going to go off of what these flags are saying. App State by a million. Give me App State.
Roll this, baby, roll this.
Wonderful people of Boone, North Carolina. As you well know, today is Black Saturday. Today, I like yellow, I like gold, I like white, but today we wear all black for Georgia Southern's funeral. Today on November 25th, 2023's rendition of Black Saturday, it means a little bit more. Yeah, you could be playing for a Sun Belt Conference Championship appearance. You're playing for the best bowl game possible. But above all else, you're playing to send those gosh darn Eagles back to states where they belong, and you're going to send them with a big red L at the end of their schedule. App State, they're playing in front of a whole bunch of seniors on senior day. They're playing in front of App State legend Armonte Edwards. They're playing in front of a national televised audience on ESPNU. And they're playing in front of one of the best college football fan bases in the country. You're going to hear a lot of chants today. One of them being, everybody listening, App State! App State! App State! App State! All right, that's what you're getting here today. Georgia Southern, you should be worried because App State's going to get a huge win in front of a huge crowd, playing me some mountain music, and in the words of the infamous App State alumni Luke Holmes, give me App State by a million.
Cody, these wings of these Eagles are going to get clipped. Well, I had to look back one more time at this amazing App State crowd. One more time for the road. App! 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 Oh, you know, the timing is questionable, but all that matters is that we have App State pride. Look, for Cody Bear, for Hunter Boston, and most importantly, our amazing student-run crew at App TV behind the camera. I'd say everyone's names, but we just don't have the time. Thank you to everybody who helped this production happen for the A-Game. Liam, our producer back in the studio, Professor Dillner, keeping everything afloat out here. I can't believe we're saying this, but we did it. And now, let's go watch App State beat Georgia Southern. This has been the A-Game Live, and we'll see you next time.